webinar. We are organizing the international webinar on AYUSH at the door. This is our third day. Tika Foundation, in collaboration with Centro Study of Bhaktivedanta, Popular University of Indo-Vedic Studies, Italy, Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad, India, Gopal Ayurveda College, Puri, are organizing this international webinar. Once again, on behalf of Tika Foundation and other collaborative organizations, I welcome you all. I welcome you all. Namaskar. Today, we have with us a great personality. He is proud of her state, proud of the nation. He is Dr. Malay Mishra. He was the former ambassador, France, Senegal, Mauritius, France, Iran, German, Seychelles, Trinidad, and Tobago. Besides that, he was also the former ambassador from Hungary, and he is the founder of Vedanta Society, Budapest, Hungary. So many contributions he has for the state and the nation. Really, we are lucky enough to find him as our speaker and inaugurator of this third day international webinar, AYUSH at the door. So I request and invite Dr. Malay Mishra for his address to the participants. Dr. Malay Mishra, please. Dr. Malay Mishra.
Yeah, am I visible and audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I can't see many of the participants besides Dr. Prasanna Mahapatra on the screen, but I hope that all the participants of this very important international webinar on AYUSH are attending and are able to see, and it is my great pleasure. And first of all, I would like to appreciate the efforts of Tika Foundation, in particular, Dr. Prasanna Mahapatra and Dr. Devadas, who have been behind this foundation to gear it forward, to present this 4-day international webinar on the theme of AYUSH at your doorstep. Well, when I was asked to give an address here at this very august forum, I couldn't but say yes, because of the importance that the forum held, and also because of the importance of the theme that it carried. For a diplomat like me, for a career diplomat who has served nearly 37 years of my service life abroad, a big part of it abroad, serving the country. I have also been intimately connected with promoting both yoga and Ayurveda in various stations where I have served. And I have been drawn to both these things from a very early age, not because of my service, not because of anybody's coaching or something, but because I felt that they were highly useful to our development, to our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual development. And wherever I have gone, I have been able to promote a little bit of yoga and Ayurveda. As Dr. Mahapatra said, I was instrumental in setting up 2 Ayurveda centers in Trinidad as well as in Hungary, Budapest. I also set up a Vedanta society in Budapest where we gave lectures on Vedanta quite regularly with resource persons coming from India as well as all parts of Europe. And for the Ayurvedic Center also, we depended a lot on resources from India as we needed teachers, we needed coaches, we needed promotional materials, we needed various sources of creating awareness about Ayurveda among the foreigners who I was very fortunate to be serving. And also because I felt that there was a great need to promote this wonderful traditional branches of Indian medicine in the world. To me, yoga, Ayurveda, AYUSH basically means A for Ayurveda, Y for yoga and naturopathy, U for Unani, S for Siddha, and H for homeopathy. All these are traditional or what WHO calls alternative systems of medicine. And these are practiced not only in India, but in various parts of the world. As I saw during my work outside of India, that, for example, in our neighborhood itself, uh, uh, Ayurveda is practiced very, very heavily in Nepal, in Sri Lanka. Siddha is practiced in Sri Lanka, in Malaysia. Unani is practiced all over Central Asia and West Asia, and it's basically originating from Greece. It is a Greco-Persian system of medicine, Arabic system of medicine. And of course, yoga and Ayurveda have been as old as Indian civilization. People don't cannot date them exactly, but they are believed to be anterior to the Vedic period. And therefore, Ayurveda is deemed to be an Upaveda, which is the 5th Veda after the 4 Vedas. And it is intimately linked, organically linked to Atharva Veda, the last Vedas of the 4 Veda Vedic tradition. Why are they important for us? They are important because while yoga builds the balance between the body, mind, and spirit triad, Ayurveda tries to cleanse it, brings it a holistic way of developing your body and protecting it from any kind of illness. A period of time, and in the Indian subcontinent, they have been instrumental in promoting India's millennial culture to the rest of the world. And I'm very happy today that there are so many practitioners of yoga and Ayurveda assembled from all over the world at this webinar, and they are going to give their experiences like they have done for the last 2 days. We are in the middle of a catastrophic situation caused by the COVID pandemic. We know how COVID pandemic had disrupted the world. It has been an apocalyptic development, if I can say so. And the only way to save humanity now is how to build the safety and health rigor and vigor of the people, of the entire humanity. So it is for the well-being of everybody that we must look to. Every government must look at that. But more than the governments, it is for the individual to build their resistance, to build their immunity, to build their bodily system. And how they do it, that would be their responsibility more than the governments. Of course, the government of India has done a lot in producing more than 1 crore vaccines, which we have seen lately, and also developing the vaccine, vaccination drive very vigorously. But then more than that, as I said, every individual must protect himself or herself against all the, the dangers fomented by this pandemic and many other things which are coming along with them, that we need to control ourselves. We need to have balance in our body. When we say AYUSH at our doorstep, which means government is now making it very accessible, the universal accessibility of these systems, of these holistic medicinal systems, which is accessible to all mankind. And it is for the welfare of all mankind that the government of India has been promoting not only these medicines in India, but in the rest of the world. When the United Nations declared June 21 as the International Day of Yoga, yoga became a household word in the entire world. We saw through all our Indian missions, we saw nearly 200 countries performing yoga at the same day, at the same time. And that has been a tradition since 2015 to come along that. It was declared in 2015. And since then, over the last 6 years, every year, year after year, there has been this International Day of the Yoga being celebrated at the aegis of the United Nations. Similarly, for Ayurveda, Ayurveda hasn't been as well promoted as yoga, but I have seen during my working in various countries in the world that there have been Ayurvedic centers who are vigorously imparting Ayurvedic knowledge, Ayurvedic education, and Ayurvedic training to many, many practitioners, and they are linking up with Indian Ayurvedic institutions for higher learning. They are sending themselves or their candidates to India for higher education, and they're promoting Ayurveda in all branches of Ayurveda, so that they are preparing themselves for an alternative system of medicine, which could, at the final instance, be a supplement. It cannot be a substitute, but it can definitely be a supplement to what we call the Western system of education, the allopathic system of education. There is no need of fighting between the two systems. Both the systems can coexist and can coexist well, because both the practitioners of both the systems of medicine know each other very well. They can understand each other very well. After all, they are both working on the body. Each of these systems are working on the human body, the human mind, and the human spirit. And therefore, they have to supplement each other's activities very substantially. So today, I have great pleasure in inaugurating this session, the third day session of AYUSH at your doorstep, with these words that let this development foment a kind of a universal outlook towards well-being for entire humanity, and let everybody be awakened to the need of curing or holistically balancing one's tattva, one's basic ingredients of one's body, so that the world becomes a better place. Let us be one with nature. We just saw the COP26 happen in Glasgow, and we just saw a galaxy of world leaders there who have committed in some way or the other to reduction in GHG, and even India has committed to even a net zero reduction by 2070, as the Honorable Prime Minister has assured them. So every country, every nation is now working very vigorously towards bringing some kind of a climate parity in the country, in the world. So it depends on us, basically, as individuals, to take up our responsibility and to be more responsible individuals, to fight not only for our well-being, but for the well-being of our countrymen, for the well-being of the entire universe, if I must say. I will end my short address with a prayer from the Upanishads. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyit dukkha bhag bhavet. which means let us all be happy, let us all be safe, let us all be peaceful, let nobody feel ever insecure and in danger. Om Shanti, 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 Om. Let peace prevail upon earth, and let peace be built up from the vibrations of each one of us through this kind of mechanisms of adopting a holistic lifestyle through practicing holistic way of life through yoga, Ayurveda, and all other holistic practices, medicinal practices, which is ensured to us, which is brought to us by AYUSH. Thank you very much. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Always we are expecting from you the cooperation, support, and blessings. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Then we have with us another great man of Italy. He is Professor Marco Perini. He is Professor Marco Perini from Italy. He is the founder and president of Center Study Bhaktivedanta. He is the spiritual guide, philosopher, and founder of Center Study Bhaktivedanta, Popular University of Indo-Vedic Studies. He is the author of books and a vast production of audio visuals. He has held over 3,000 seminars and training events. So we are lucky enough to find such a great man as our speaker, Professor Marco Perini from Italy. Professor Marco Perini, please.
Buongiorno, benvenute e benvenuti. Penso che l'aspetto più importante e anche più urgente di questa sessione di cibo nella Ayurveda è il rapporto che il cibo ha con la psiche e ovviamente anche la psiche con il cibo. È un'interruzione, è una...
Good morning, welcome to everyone. I would like to start by saying that I think the most important and urgent aspect of this session about the relation between food and Ayurveda is the relationship between food and psyche.
Specialmente in questo periodo in cui le persone sono terrorizzate dalle campagne di stampa del mainstream e descrivono una grande situazione di pericolo, è importantissimo che noi stiamo calmi, che noi stiamo sereni. È importante che rimaniamo nel nostro centro energetico.
Especially in this period, while people are terrified by the mainstream propaganda describing a very dangerous situation, it is important to remain calm and serene, to keep the balance inside our energetical center.
Se noi manteniamo il nostro equilibrio psichico è anche merito del cibo di cui ci nutriamo. Un cibo squilibrato significa avere un umore squilibrato.
If we maintain our psychic balance, it is thanks to the food we choose. Imbalanced food means also an imbalanced state of the psyche.
Per tenere in equilibrio le nostre funzioni psichiche e la nostra interazione con l'ambiente esterno, dobbiamo imparare a nutrirci di un cibo adeguato che ci consenta questo equilibrio che andiamo cercando dentro di noi e fuori di noi.
In order to keep our psychic functions and well-balanced interaction with the environment, we need to nourish ourselves with proper food, allowing us to keep the balance inside and outside us.
Il cibo di cui ci nutriamo determina la nostra composizione biochimica e anche biopsichica.
The food we eat determines our biochemical and also biopsychical composition.
Se la nostra dieta è ben bilanciata, ben equilibrata, anche il nostro umore sarà ben equilibrato e bilanciato.
If we follow a well-balanced diet, also our mood will be the proper mood, well-balanced mood.
Nutrirci alla stessa ora tutti i giorni,
It is important to eat at the same time every day.
nutrirsi di un cibo che è idoneo alla nostra composizione del triguna e del tridosha,
To eat food that suits our three guna composition and three doshas constitution
è il passo più importante che dobbiamo fare. Il primo è il più importante.
This is the most important step we have to make. It is the first and the most important.
Altro passo importante che segue rispetto al primo provvedimento sul cibo è un provvedimento dell'accettazione in maniera idonea del cibo. Stabilire una relazione con il cibo che sia sattvica, una relazione che non sia di passione smodata o di possesso nei confronti del cibo, di cupidigia, di ingordigia. Non deve essere il cibo un oggetto verso il quale ci rivolgiamo in maniera aggressiva ed egoistica.
Another important step that follows is a measure of acceptance of the food that should be adapted to our constitution. We have to start a sattvic relationship with food. This relationship should not be disordinated, should not be founded on passion or possession of food, should not be characterized by greed, gluttony. It should not be food considered as an object towards we approach with aggressivity and a form of selfishness.
Il nostro rapporto deve essere di grande rispetto nei confronti del cibo.
Our relationship should be founded on the basis of respect towards food.
Il rispetto verso ciò di cui noi ci nutriamo con la comprensione, con la consapevolezza che quel cibo diventa parte di noi. Noi assorbiamo questo cibo e questo cibo diventa parte integrante del nostro corpo psicofisico.
We have to respect food by considering that what we eat, with this knowledge that food becomes part of us. We absorb the food. That's why it will be an integration of our composition by saying it is a part of us. And with this awareness, we have to well approach the food.
Il grande saggio Charaka Muni, in India, e un altro grande saggio, Ippocrate, un filosofo greco del V secolo a.C., e Charakamuni, millenni e millenni prima di Cristo, hanno detto la stessa cosa. Fa che il cibo sia la tua medicina e fa che le tue medicine siano il cibo.
The great sage Charakamuni in India and another great sage Hippocrates, the Greek philosopher, 5 centuries
Ippocrate.
before Christus, said both the same thing. Let food be your medicine and medicine your food.
Il cibo diventa salute nei principi dell'Ayurveda e nei principi della tradizione salutistica occidentale, sia nel pensiero orientale attraverso l'Ayurveda, la Charaka Samhita, e attraverso la medicina classica, tradizionale occidentale, partendo da Ippocrate. Il cibo deve essere onorato, rispettato, non trangugiato.
Food becomes health on the base of the principle of Ayurveda teachings and the Western health tradition. Both in the West and in the East, following the Charaka Samhita teachings, says that also the traditional classical medicine in the West, starting from Hippocrates, says that food must be honored and respected.
Piuttosto che trangugiato, ho detto, piuttosto che
Instead,
gridi, che essere gridi mentre si mangia.
Instead of gobbling up food.
L'Ayurveda introduce un principio fondamentale che è quello di non basarsi soltanto su ciò che ci piace come cibo, ma a diventare consapevoli e responsabili di fare scelte giuste, di scegliere il giusto nutrimento per rafforzare la nostra psiche e il nostro corpo.
Ayurveda introduces us to a fundamental principle that is based not just by eating what we like, but becoming conscious and responsible for making the right choices to strengthen both our body and soul.
Dalle scelte giuste avremo ottimi benefici. Dalle scelte sbagliate ne pagheremo le conseguenze.
If we make the proper choices, we will have great benefits. If we make wrong choices, we will suffer consequences.
Il cibo buono è anche gustoso, ma perché noi lo sentiamo gustoso dobbiamo educare i nostri gusti, e questo è un altro compito dell'Ayurveda, educare i nostri gusti affinché il cibo sano diventi gustoso e noi siamo soddisfatti con il cibo sano.
Good food should also be tasty. But in order for us to feel it tasty, we have to educate our tastes. And this is the task of Ayurveda. Healthy food becomes tasty, and thus we can appreciate it by making the right choices.
Il cibo buono e il cibo che fa bene è la combinazione giusta affinché il nostro cibo, il nostro nutrimento diventi uno dei nostri migliori alleati per affrontare le sfide della vita, soprattutto in periodi come questi in cui la nostra vita è in pericolo ed è minacciata da continue imposizioni.
Good food that is good for our health is based on the right combination so that our food becomes one of our best friends, allies, just helping us in defeating life's challenges, especially today, such period in which our lives are in danger, threatened by constant impositions.
L'alimentazione può essere un impegno grave e faticoso se sbagliamo la scelta dei cibi e soprattutto se ci poniamo in un atteggiamento negativo nei confronti di esso.
So nourishment could be a serious and tiring commitment if we make the wrong choices about food and if we have a negative attitude towards it.
Siccome dobbiamo stare in relazione al cibo non solo qualche giorno o qualche settimana, bensì dall'inizio della vita, dall'inizio della nascita, dalla nascita praticamente fino a quando lasciamo il corpo. Allora, visto che il nostro più stretto compagno di viaggio in questa esistenza umana incarnata, tanto vale che ce lo facciamo amico, veramente amico.
As we have to start this relationship with food since our birth, since we begin our incarnated life, then it's better that we consider food as our closest traveling companion in the life journey and so to become close friends.
Fare amicizia con il cibo, entrare in un rapporto rispettoso con il cibo, quindi più che mangiare, rispettare il cibo, è una pratica importante, basilare, fare un'offerta del cibo. L'offerta del cibo facilita quest'ottima relazione con la nostra alimentazione e la cominciamo a percepire come gioiosa e festosa.
Making friends with food, just starting a respectful relationship with food means not to simply eat food, but to respect food. The basic practice to start this friendly relationship is to offer food, facilitating thus the relationships with it and having a joyful relation between us and food.
Tra noi e il nostro cibo, perché il nostro cibo non è necessariamente il cibo degli altri, perché la nostra natura è peculiare e quindi deve essere peculiare anche il cibo per noi, perché il cibo ha una relazione non solo con il corpo fisico, ma soprattutto con la nostra psiche.
We should thus begin this joyful and festive relationship with the food, considering that our food is different than food of other people. Since we have a peculiar constitution, we have a specific nature, and food has a relationship with our psychic nature.
Il cibo che noi scegliamo, il nostro cibo, quello che cuciniamo per noi e che offriamo in spirito di offerta al Signore e poi lo rispettiamo e quindi ce ne nutriamo con rispetto, con misura, con attenzione, con consapevolezza, sappiamo che non entra in rapporto soltanto con la nostra digestione, con la nostra assimilazione, ma entra in rapporto con la nostra psiche in maniera ancora più sottile, ancora più intima.
The food that we choose, the food that we cook. Sorry, but there are some problems with the microphones. We hear rumors. And I kindly ask Dr. Mohapatra to close the microphones of the participants. Thank you.
Ricominci. Sì. Non
Okay,
avanti-
microphones are still open and they are disturbing the translation. Okay, I try to start again. The food that we choose, that we cook for ourselves, should be offered in a devotional spirit of offering to the Lord. And when we eat, we have to get close to food by nourishing ourselves with respect, with attention, and with awareness. Then food does not simply enter into our digestion, but we have a relationship between food and our psychic in an even more intimate way.
Il nostro cibo entra subito in relazione al nostro vissuto, alle nostre esperienze, alla nostra memoria, al nostro umore, per cui dobbiamo predisporci in maniera idonea prima di cominciare a mangiare.
Our food immediately relates to our experiences, to our life memories, to our moods, and we must prepare ourselves accordingly before getting into contact in the proper way with food.
Uno degli aspetti importanti è essere di umore lieto prima di cominciare a mangiare, avere bei ricordi e pensare a ciò che serve alla nostra evoluzione.
One of the most important aspects is to be in a happy mood before eating, to cultivate good memories, to think about what we need for our evolution.
In effetti, la nostra personalità è veramente individuale. Per questa ragione il cibo deve essere individuale. La nostra personalità è la somma dei contenuti mentali con i quali il soggetto si identifica, col quale ci identifichiamo. Quindi noi dobbiamo scegliere tra i nostri contenuti mentali i più gioiosi, i più piacevoli. Così quando noi assumiamo il cibo, quando noi mangiamo, quando noi rispettiamo, entra subito in contatto il cibo mentre si dispone a diventare parte strutturale del nostro corpo, diventa anche parte strutturale della nostra psiche.
In fact, our personality is very individual. And so should be also food, individual, according to our choices. Our personality is the sum of the mental contents in which we identify ourselves. We have to choose our mental contents that should be joyful, pleasant. Thus, when we eat, we respect the food, and it comes immediately into contact with our structural organism and our psyche.
Allora il nostro nutrimento diventa un aiuto alla nostra consapevolezza profonda. Diventa uno strumento di maggiore conoscenza di noi stessi, conoscenza profonda di noi stessi.
Then our nourishment becomes an aid to our profound self-awareness, a tool for greater knowledge of our deepest self.
Questa è una ragione importante per cui fino dall'antichità, sia nell'antica Bharatvarsha, sia nell'antica Grecia, sia nell'antica Roma, e anche oggi la regola è una regola universale, è una regola del Dharma, vale l'importanza dei nostri commensali, la scelta attenta dei nostri commensali, con chi mangiamo.
This is an important reason why, since ancient times in the ancient Greece, Rome, Bharatvarsha, we have to choose people with whom we accompany during eating and having their company, their friendship together during this such special and precious time.
Possibilmente a tavola si deve parlare di argomenti piacevoli, argomenti interessanti che sono collegati alla nostra evoluzione spirituale.
So it is very important to talk with our commensals about pleasant topics, interesting topics, and favorable topics for our spiritual evolution.
E il rispetto degli altri è importante tanto quanto il rispetto per noi stessi.
Thus, respecting others is so much important as respecting ourselves.
Quindi offrire il cibo è offrire noi stessi.
When we offer food, we are offering ourselves.
E quando le persone mangiano con noi e noi mangiamo con loro, quindi mangiamo insieme,
And so when people eat with us and we eat with them,
abbiamo uno scambio profondo perché durante il nutrimento, durante l'azione del mangiare, del rispettare il cibo, si aprono tutti i recettori. I recettori mentali si aprono e noi diventiamo particolarmente aperti e vulnerabili alle persone che abbiamo vicini.
thus we have by eating a deep exchange, because during the nourishment, our mental receptors get open up. They open up. And we become particularly not only open, but also vulnerable towards the people we have close to us.
Se riusciamo a mantenere le nostre emozioni costruttive e amorevoli nei confronti degli altri, non solo dei nostri commensali, ma anche delle persone di cui stiamo parlando, ne parliamo bene, ne parliamo per il loro bene come per il nostro bene, accade qualcosa di straordinario.
If we manage to keep our emotions constructive and loving towards others, not only the ones who are sitting at the tables with us, but also towards people we are talking about, something extraordinary happens, and it is a very important experience we can make together with our diners.
Mangiare è un'esperienza spirituale.
To eat is a spiritual experience.
È un'esperienza che si fa 3 volte al giorno.
It is an experience we make 3 times per day.
È veramente uno yajna, un sacrificio piacevolissimo se siamo capaci di entrare in rapporto amichevole con il cibo, rispettoso e amichevole.
It is truly a yajna, a sacrifice, a pleasant sacrifice, if we are able to relate in a friendly manner with food.
Ecco perché è importante creare una concentrazione.
This
A
is
tavola non ci si deve distrarre, ci si deve concentrare.
This is why it is very important to keep concentration by eating and not allow any distraction.
Mantenere un buon umore e non essere urtati da nulla, essere tolleranti, parlare di cose piacevoli, anche se siamo in momenti difficili.
That's why it is important keeping a good mood, not being affected by anything, keeping being tolerant, to think about pleasant things, to talk about pleasant things.
Un aneddoto raccontato dal mio Guru Maharaj, Sua Divina Grazia Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, è che durante la Seconda Guerra Mondiale, durante il bombardamento di Calcutta da parte dei giapponesi, Prabhupada terminava i suoi kashori con calma, dipendendo da Krishna e sapendo che era il miglior modo per poter far fronte alla situazione terribile. E questo per spiegare quanto si deve essere collegati al cibo e come essere collegati al cibo. Il cibo che a quel punto è prasada, è misericordia del Signore.
As an anecdote, I would like to tell you about my spiritual master, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who during the Second World War told about an experience during a bombing of Calcutta by the Japanese. Prabhupada calmly finished his kachoris by abandoning himself to Krishna, knowing that he was facing a terrible situation. Keeping calm, this is the anecdote, the example about how much is important to be in relation with food and how we relate to food. In this way, food becomes prasada, Lord mercy.
E noi abbiamo bisogno, prima di tutto, di conoscere la nostra Costituzione, la quale è articolata su 3 piani: quella biologica, fisica, bio, quella psichica e quella spirituale, bio, psico, spirituale.
First of all, we need to know our 3-part constitution that are the biological, physical and psychic and spiritual. That's bio, psycho, spiritual levels.
Per cui occorre un cibo per il corpo biologico, fisico, un cibo per il corpo psichico e il cibo per il corpo spirituale. Perché noi non possiamo essere meno coscienti di una costituente piuttosto di un'altra di questa triplice costituzione che abbiamo.
So we need food for the body, for our psychic state, for our spiritual level, and we cannot be less conscious about one constituted than another, and keeping our awareness about this 3-part constitution we have to feed.
Il vero equilibrio è costituito dall'equilibrio di queste 3 differenti componenti del Jiva Bhuta, dell'essere spirituale incarnato.
The true balance is the balance of these 3 different components of the Jiva Bhuta, the incarnated human being.
Ecco perché la Bhagavad Gita sottolinea così tanto e così precisamente l'importanza dell'equilibrio, al punto da dire che equilibrio significa yoga, yoga significa equilibrio.
This is why the Bhagavad Gita stresses, points out so much and so precisely the importance of balance that is called yoga. Yoga represents the perfect balance.
E a questo punto dovremmo chiederci, ma da dove scaturiscono le malattie, tutte le patologie, piccole e grandi, lievi e mortali? Da dove scaturiscono queste patologie?
So we should ask ourselves where disease comes from. Mild diseases, fatal diseases, where do they come from?
Dallo squilibrio.
They come from the unbalance.
Se yoga significa equilibrio,
So if yoga means balance,
roga significa squilibrio
roga means unbalance,
e roga significa anche malattia,
and roga means also disease,
patologie.
pathology.
Quindi noi abbiamo un dovere, che poi diventa anche un piacere, nel mantenerci in equilibrio. E questo è lo scopo dello yoga e dell'Ayurveda.
So we have a duty, that this duty could become a pleasure in keeping ourselves in well balance, which is the purpose of yoga and Ayurveda.
La vita può diventare un viaggio molto piacevole, la vita incarnata intendo, la vita incarnata può diventare anche un viaggio piacevole, posto che abbiamo come mezzo del viaggio la conoscenza e che siamo alla ricerca dell'amore.
Life can thus become a very pleasant journey. We are talking about incarnated life, provided that our means is knowledge and that we keep our search towards love. That is our final destination.
In altre occasioni potremo approfondire maggiormente tutte le interazioni con le aree vitali, con i prana, con i dosha, ma quello di cui vi ho voluto informare preliminarmente è proprio il rapporto tra noi e il cibo e che significa tra la psiche e l'alimentazione e tra noi come esseri spirituali e questi due corpi, queste due strutture psicofisiche.
On other occasions, we may discuss together the interaction between the vital layers, prana and dosha, but today I wanted to talk about the relationship between ourselves and food, between food and our psychic, the relation between psyche and nutrition, between us as spiritual beings and these two physical, psychical structures.
Per concludere, quel che accade fuori di noi, pur essendo in qualche misura importante, non è mai determinante per noi se rimaniamo nella prospettiva dell'eternità.
In conclusion, I would like to say that what happens outside of us, although to some extent a important event, is never determinant for us if we keep our perspective of eternity.
La nostra essenza è spirituale e nel momento in cui è incarnato, l'Atman, il Brahman, il Purusha, una volta che è incarnato deve prendersi cura anche del suo corpo psicofisico proprio per completare il viaggio verso la perfezione.
Our essence is spiritual, and at the moment when Atman is incarnated, embodied, it has the responsibility to take care of his or her psychophysical structures, thus completing the journey towards perfection.
Questa è la maniera con cui si può trasformare una situazione drammatica in una situazione meravigliosa.
This is the way how to transform a dramatic situation into a marvelous situation, circumstance, into a journey.
Buona giornata a tutti.
So I wish all a good day and good continuation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Marco Perini and Barbara Frigerio, who was translating the Italian language to English language. So once again, a special thanks on behalf of Tika Foundation and other organizations to Professor Marco Perini and Dr. Barbara Frigerio, who was translating the Italian language to English language. Thank you, Dr. Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you. Then we have with us another great personality is Dr. Kuna Das. He is the President, India-Japan Friendship Center, Japan, and Chandrasekhar Academy International School, Kyoto, Japan. Dr. Kuna Das has been staying in Japan for the last 30 years, relentlessly engaged in building up a bridge between Japan and India. So I invite and request Mr. Kuna Das, the Honorable President, India-Japan Friendship Center, Japan, and Chandrasekhar Academy International School, Kyoto, Japan. I invite and request Kuna Das.
Namaste, namaste, namaste. Okay, namaskar, namaskar. Actually, I am from Puri, Jagannath Puri, and I have been here for 30 years in Japan. So why I came to Japan from Puri? Because you know that the Puri is a holy city, and there's a temple, Jagannath temple, and we have a good clean beach. And my father, he opened a hotel in 1952 in Puri. It's called Santana for the foreigner. So that time we get many problems that the Puri people, they ask, why you open a hotel for foreigners? Okay, why you want to you keep the foreigner in your house? Maybe they can steal India. And my father said that no, the Puri, the holy place, all the foreigners, they should love Puri. Santana became very famous in Puri that time. All foreigners, they come there. Santana have no room, but they stay on the top of the room. But sometimes we have there many kind of festival like Diwali and the other Holi and these things. The foreigner, they go out, people play Diwali and Holi, these things, but they don't know about the Indian culture. So they go out, all the cloth became colorful, holy, and they get angry. Why you put a color to me? So this kind of many things happening there. And when the tourists work in the temple side, some children, they can speak broken English. They speak, red monkey is coming, red monkey is coming. And some family, they get very happy and they clap their hand and my child is speaking good English. So these things, you know, in that time, and I feel that little we get some Japanese customer there. I learned little bit Japanese there. Then I want to do something in Puri, but very difficult sometimes, like Ayurveda, like Dr. Sir is speaking about the food. We know all these things. We have to wake up early morning, sleep maybe before 10 o'clock, eat good food and good care of health. But now you know that all the world, people want good food in limited time. Some good food, it need to cook, it need to make a time, it is necessary. So when we have a restaurant in India also, people want very quickly you serve the food. We sometimes ask them the tandoori chicken or something like that. It will take time to cook. Now you give me speedily. So these things, changing all over the world. In India also same. People go to restaurant, only you get paneer, paneer, paneer. Okay. So everything they have a fryer there, one oil pot is there, and the vegetable they fry there, because all people they want a speedy food. Speedy food means you have to no time to boil the food. Okay. They have a fryer, they put their chicken, they put their vegetable, they put their paneer, and after they bring there and make the curry and all the gravy system. Okay. So these things, many things now in India also changed. When I came to Japan 30 years before, people asked me, oh, India, very dusty country, and how you people all day you are eating curry, all this spicy. I say then this is, in the curry we use many kind of spice. Like the Tamilic have something, cinnamon have something, clove have something. Not all curry, that means not all chili, okay? So Japanese people mostly, they 30 years before, they think that Indian food is all chili, okay? All this is made by only chili powder, okay? So we have to teach them, because their food is simple, Japanese food. They don't use spice. So they have many, different countries, different, they have the different thinkings, okay? And our media also, they promote different way. Like in Japan, that time people don't want to eat Indian curry. Then I will open a restaurant here. No guests that time. When I call the people to eat Japanese food, some children, they speak the Indian food is very spicy, we can't eat. Very difficult to promote. Very difficult to promote here. Take me long times. But okay, in Japan now I promote here. Now you can find in one small city, in like Osaka, when I open a restaurant, there is 2 restaurants. Now we can find 200 restaurants. Okay. So this thing, many things is changing now. It's coming good. But now many Indian owners, they changed. And now Nepali owner became the restaurant owner. So now this kind of many things is changing. Okay. Like yoga also same. When there is no Yoga International Day, we started yoga in Japan. But no help from the government. When you want to promote India in Japan, nothing there, okay? So many things is changing now in the world, but that's why I'm thinking that how should we be positive thinking. All the people, many, you know that the people are now negative. All they're thinking how to earn the money, how to be rich, how to make a big house, how to make a big car. I have 5 cars, okay? Like you see the India, many big cities, they have 5 cars. No need to use 5 cars, but they want to show their prestige that I am going with the Benz car, I have this and have this. So all time this thing. So we have to change these things we are the old now, but we have to change these things from the education, from the small kindergarten. From the kindergarten, how to these children, they know how to live with the clean society. So the education is clean, but after when they work someplace, they teach them how to cheat, okay? How can you make the money? Like you see the doctor, doctor. In India, many people, we old people, I every time I take medicine, Ayurvedic, homeopathic. My family also take, but many people, they want the quickly medicine, okay? So you go to hospital, they want to cut you and they want this one. The people prefer that. In Japan also same. There is no license, no insurance for the Ayurvedic treatment, okay? So here we have insurance system. If somebody get disease, we go to Japanese hospital. Japanese government, they pay for 70%. We pay only 30%. This is the system of Japan. So in Ayurvedic, in yoga, we don't get any discount here. We cannot use this one, okay? So we cannot promote these things in Japan. Only the patient, I have some friend here who have a hospital, Ayurvedic hospital. After the Japanese hospital, they say you are like cancer and last stage. These people, they come and they pay their money and they get treatment in Ayurvedic homeopathy. Such a good things. We need to, how can we promote more these things? but very difficult in the international rule. Many different countries have different rules. You cannot change that. But you know that all these increasing country, development country, they have stress now. Okay, the people have money, everything they have, but they have no family. Okay, like in Japan also, mostly they no marriage, no children. Okay, the population is going down, so they are now importing manpower from the different countries. Why? Because they work, and they make money, but no family life. Okay, so many are stressed now. So how can we change these things? We don't change the rule. It's difficult to change the rule. Everything, the Indian government, AYUSH department, they have this thing. But here in Japan, I have a yoga school. But if I'm giving them the ICU certificate, they don't want. They want Yoga Island certificate. Okay, that's the mind control. They want the Yoga Island certificate. I have a school in Puri also, yoga school, continuing there 8 years before. But all the Japanese, they want a Yoga Island certificate. We are giving them Yoga Island certificate. At the beginning, when I start the school in Puri, nobody wants to come to Puri. They think yoga means Rishikesh. I sell them in the different way that the Puri beach, you hear the sound from the beach sound, the sea sound. That is a good kind of meditation. There is no need of back music. Okay, go to morning to beach with one mat. There is a 300-kilometer Puri seashore. You get the safety beach. Any place you can sit down there with a one mat, listen the wave music, and you do your yoga Surya Namaskar. And because we sell them in the different way, that you are staying in Japan in busy life, come India for one month and meditate and feel that why you come here, for what, and what will be in the last position. All these things, what will be happen that. Okay. So this kind of something we have to modify them. How the international they can change. With somebody is drinking wine or beer, you can't say that you eat coconut water. Okay, you don't want coconut water. How can you? But when we take them to Puri, from the Bhubaneswar to Puri, on the way, we stop them and we give them the natural mineral water. Okay, because many foreigners, they don't want to drink Indian water. The water is not clean, so they want to buy mineral water. How you fed the mineral water? Who poured the water? What is happening there? So I will give you today Poido Pani. This is coconut water. Okay. Then we give them these things and they say, oh, very good coconut water. So how can we change them, these things? So this is what I'm doing here. It takes me 30 years to do these things. That's why I'm here. When my mother and father, they say, why you are in Japan for 30 years? What are you doing there? I say, one thing, if you change something there, it takes time. Okay. So in Japan, I became like a Japanese. Now Japanese can hear to me that what Kuna is saying. Okay. So that's why I opened a school in Puri, but to change the education, how the children from the childhood, they learn to how to the clean system. In Japan, small kindergarten school, they clean the house, they clean their classroom, they clean their toilet. In India, if you go to some college or some small school, if something happens, they call auntie, please clean our toilet. Okay. So you have to make first clean India. These many things, but okay, no problem. But very thankful today for calling me, get this opportunity to join in these systems. In the beginning, in the 10-15 minutes, we cannot discuss on what we can change. But what I'm doing there, we have to be all time in positive, no negative. Positive thinking is brain, then make you good health, and the brain is the important part of the body. That is brain, how you control your brain. Okay. And one thing is like the car, you put the gasoline there. Okay. The human body, that necessary the food. Okay. But we have to teach our children. You see the children, they're going to hamburger, McDonald's, and these things. Okay, they want fried potato, these things. We want the children to eat the tomato, lemon, and in India, this is called nigawari. This one. How should we change these things and make a good world? Many things is happening there. What is Corona also like this? Many things is going there. But thank you for inviting me. We can discuss within 10-15 minutes. We have to keep a link with each other. So what can we do in Japan? What can we do in Puri? I have 2 linkages in Odisha or in Japan. Anything, if you want to do something, we can do in Japan also. How to promote these things in here. Our government also supporting. Prime Minister Modi, when he came to Japan, we start in Kyoto, the second capital of Japan. The Japan capital before was Nara, and they shift to Kyoto, and now the capital is Tokyo. Every year we organize here yoga festival in the Japanese temple. And we have a linkage with the Puri temple and the Japanese Kyoto. They have a car festival in Kyoto also that is called Gyom Matsuri. So many things, in Japan and the Buddhism, Hindu, they feel good. We have promoting here, and now they like India. Many Japanese people 30 years before now changed, they're encouraging to go to India. Many things is happening with India and Japan. So that's why I'm asking to you all, you're any part of in your country, please connect with India. How can we make, if you want one country to connect with India, maybe that will be help for the world peace, I think. If your friend, if you have any friend in a country, like I'm here, Japan, I think what I make a relation with 30 years, maybe Japan is not make it will friend country for India forever. That's what I happen. That's why I'm asking for all these foreigners who stay in any part of the world. How can we change and how can we connect with the people? That means Pakistan or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka. We are from the world. How can we connect all? And we are all from the world, not from the Puri, not from the India. We are one certificate, one passport. That should be like Indian passport, Indian nationality, French nationality, Italian nationality. No, it is world nationality. It should be world nationality passport, I think. Then anything will be changed, I think. But I can't do myself. Thank you for all are connected. How can we make a big thing from this starting from today? Thank you. Namaskar. Any help from the Japan side? I am with you. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kunadas, for your cooperation, support, and particularly special thanks for your for the loving of India and the world. You are thinking for the world peace. Really, it's a great thing and great emotion of yours. Definitely, for your emotion, we must give due tribute to you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Das from Japan. Then we have with us. Professor Dr. Arpita Priyadarshini. Professor Dr. Arpita Priyadarshini, she is Fellow American Academy of Sleep Medicine. She is the Fellow American Academy of Sleep Medicine. She has the expertise in sleep medicine. And presently, she is heading the Department of Physiology, Sri Jagannath Medical College, Puri, India. She is the professor and head. She is the professor and head of Physiology, Sri Jagannath Medical College, Puri, India. So I invite and request Professor Dr. Arpita Priyadarshini. Madam Arpita Priyadarshini.
Am I audible? Thank you so much, Dr. Prasanna Kumar Mahapatra. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible, ma'am.
Good evening and happy Diwali to one and all. And I'm extremely thankful to share the same screen with my elder brother, Dr. Malay Mishra, Dr. Debadash, and I'm extremely obliged to take up our foundation to connect us and to people like Dr. Marco and Dr. Mr. Kuna. So I'm extremely obliged to take our foundation that it's the method by which we are getting connected without paying anything. We are just getting connected. Thank you so much for doing so. Well, my topic, I was thinking, what do I speak to everyone that can make them think in a different way? Let me share the screen. Can I share the screen?
Yes.
Can you see it now, Ma Saraswati? All of you? Are you able to see?
Yes.
So she is my deity to start with her. So with the blessing of Ma Saraswati, let me take you to a land where you will be thinking about exactly how do I think about health? So this is a beautiful contemplation which says, Vidya vivadaya dhanam madaya shakti, paresham paripidanaya, khalasya sadho viparitameta jnanaya danaya charapaya. The mischievous use education for conflict, money for intoxication, and power for oppressing others. Honest ones like us use it for knowledge, charity, and protecting others respectively. So my topic is health parameters. All of us know the definition of health, that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not the absence of disease or infirmity. All of us have mugged it. But as you see, in the center is the human who has three different ways of understanding it, through body, through mind, through spirit. But the base of this is the biosphere and the culture where or she lives or he lives. The most important thing, the outside, which really harbors and protects a human at the three level, which we have been talking for last 1.5 hours, is that the basic is the culture and the biosphere. And in Ayurveda, as it is said by Sushruta, Samadosha samagnischa samadhatu malakriya prasanatmendriya manaha swasthya ityabhidhiyate. So the swasthya in Sanskrit means swamesthita, a person who is very, very comfortable with self, who doesn't move the mind here and there, just is very comfortable. That is called swasthya. And this is possible by when you have a balance of so many factors to give you a pleasantness in your life. So your pleasantness in your life, which includes your soul pleasantness, your indriya pleasantness, and mind pleasantness, is all about health. So going further, the parameters of health, as we know, is physical, mental, spiritual, and social. But as you see, if you have a perfect physical, mental, and social well-being, the byproduct of this is a spiritual self. Unless you have a good health, good mental status, and very nice social concept and social helpfulness, spirituality cannot develop. So now coming to what are the determinants of physical health? So in 17 countries, there was a questionnaire where more than 15 years they participated, and 23,000 of such people participated. And what they understood is that they felt healthy when they had good sleep, healthy and nutritious food, exercise, and when they spent family time and with pets also, and when the skin was glowing both internally as by taking enough good food and also by using certain care products. So that is what is now is taken as, what people think as physical determinant of health. Now coming to what is mental determinant of health? What is this mental health? This is very interesting. So what is this mental health? A state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential. Am I audible?
Yes,
Am I
yes,
audible?
you are audible.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So what is this mental health? All of us know about physical health. It shows and we feel good or bad about it. But many of us do not know exactly what mental health means, how it feels to be really mental. What is this mental wellness? So the end product of mental wellness is productivity, and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her or his community. If you are thinking of the community as a large, you have a perfect mental health. So coming to the right side, you see that how our mental health changes, like when what thinking gives you a mental wellness. Let us see. If you are grateful, you're very happy and contented, and you're other-centered. You're thinking about others' happiness. There are 3 ways, like live, let live, and help others to live. These are 3 ways of thinking. But if you want a perfect mental wellness, from a perfect mental wellness, these few qualities, virtues evolve. So when you are feeling this, you are mentally just perfect. And as you see, if you're mentally less, your wellness has decreased, you will be busy. You will say, I'm always busy, distracted, involved in everything. If you get involved in everything, that is, I mean, you're decreasing. Your mental wellness is decreasing. Then as you go down, when you feel pleasure seeking, preoccupied, and unsatisfied, you are just falling down from your mental wellness. And when you are negative and self-focused, only you think about yourself, that shows you're perfectly, now you are in the realm where you are going to enter into the psychiatry department very, very soon. So we should be very careful, like what we have in our mind throughout our day and every moment. So the more you're contented and grateful, you should think that you are really perfectly mentally well. Now coming to social well-being, what is the social determinant of health? The first social determinant of health is that you should be educated. You should have economic stability. You should be neighborhood and built environment. You should have perfect, liaison with health and healthcare. And always everything is ultimate is society and community that matters to us. And when the community, when your thinking reflects in the community, and in community there is no poverty, no hunger, everyone is in well-being, good education, gender equality, shows that this is perfect Rama Rajya, which has developed because of your social health. Now coming to spiritual health, unless you are physically, mentally, and socially fine, you cannot have this dimension. In spirituality, there are these dimensions. Commonly, it is pleasure and success. We are twigged with it. We are intertwined with these 2 aspects. How much pleasure I get from this body and from this mind, and how much success. So Kama and Artha means more I and more mind. These are common. But as you go ahead with spirituality, you will see that you will become duty bound. You have dharma. When you think about others, when you are performing duty, in fact, you are working for others. Now, the 4th aspect, as you go evolve, is liberation or moksha. When you connect with the infinite. So these are the 4 steps or evolution of spirituality, and this is a determinant of health. These are the parameter of health. Parameter of health is never your blood sugar or your blood pressure, or these are in fact your parameters of health. How much you are liberated, how much you are dutiful, rather than how much pleasure seeking or how much success seeking you are. Now the question is, the purpose of all this parameter, when you are asking yourself this particular question, be sure that all your parameters are just perfect. And the question is, what on earth am I here for? The purpose of driven life, why am I here? If this is your question, then you are a perfect ingredient for higher consciousness. Now, this is what is all about the ultimate self, which can think about others, which says, Ayam Bandhurayam Neti Ganana Laghu Chetasa Udana Charitanam Tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is from Maha Upanishad Adhyaya 4, which says, who discriminate, this one is a friend and that one is a stranger, are people with petty minds. They're very, 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 I would say, very, very lower evolution, but people with evolved consciousness embrace the entire world as their own family. This is only possible provided your parameters, your physical, mental, and social are perfect. Then only you will be spiritually, you will have spirituality, which means this: you should have a consciousness that the whole universe is mine and I belong to this universe. I'm responsible for this universe, and this is the way a complete healthy person thinks. Now, The most important is that as we are growing, as we are evolving, we are aging also. So healthy aging, if you are aging healthily, then you are a spiritual person. So healthy aging is spirituality. So you can see a World Health Organization in 3rd August 2020, it is said the decade of healthy aging has been endorsed by the 73rd World Health Assembly. Now everyone is thinking that the aging should be healthy. Aging should not be accompanied by roga, or it should not be accompanied by diseases. So healthy aging is the process of developing and maintaining the functional ability that enables well-being in older age. I am very concerned about it because many of us do not know that age is given to us to evolve, not to wait for death. Many of us, because we do not know how to handle our own age, we just wait for death, and we are not going to do that. So functional ability is about having the capabilities that enable all people to be and do what they have reason to value. So we have I would say a lot of capabilities, but only thing is that there is no one to help us out at that phase of life. And that is why we should connect more and find out the purpose of life, not death. Now, coming to the next part of this, as you see in Veda, as it has been said in Manusmriti, has been said that our life has been divided into 4 ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. And Brahmacharya is the first 25 years, and we are supposed to live for 100 years, and that is very important. As you see in our in astrology, the total life of a human is 120 years. So one has to live for 120 years to experience all the celestial effects of all the grahas as it has been prescribed. And for that, if we take roughly the average life of a human should be 100, first 25 years we should learn. And what is this learning? We should be taught about. Basically, in our own culture, we should know about our culture and practical skills. That's very important. Then after learning, we should earn. And Grihastha is that part. And we are very happy till here. We know what to do till 50. But beyond 50, my friends, my seniors, many of us do not have anyone to teach us what we are supposed to do at this time, when we have to turn. Now, this is the time to turn. And what we are turning around is that we have to be self-dependent, independent from others. Turn means totally independent. We can work for ourselves, we can take care of ourselves, and that's very important. Many of us think in Vanaprastha that our children and grandchildren will take care of us. No, we will not do that. We will turn and slowly will become independent so that we can return, because independently we have to return back home. We have to go back home independently. No one is going to help us there. So turn is only when you take care of yourself independently. You're not dependent on anyone. So for that, we must check what are the daily activities we are supposed to do till death. Is that we should be able to wash ourselves. We should take our dental hygiene, toilet, and this we have to do all alone. Eating, we have to know how to cook, how to feed us. So we have to take all the care, the dressing, cleaning of the dress, keeping the mobility, and we are able to transfer here and there. So this is a perfect way when you can do this till the end of your life, when the body ceases. And the more and more internally you're glowing and the body is, till death, we have to do all this, the activities of daily living, which is known as ADLs. This is spirituality. If you can carry on till your body ceases, is spirituality, not losing that hope. So till death, take care your body. It is the only place you have to live in. So take care of yourself. Don't ever think that you will wait for death, because expectation from health is very well written in our old mantra, which says, Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Prishtivardhanam Urva Rukmiva Bandhanat Mrityumukshiyama Prata, which says, I worship that fragrant Shiva of 3 eyes, the one who nourishes all living entities. May he help us sever our bondage with samsara by making us realize that we are never separated from our immortal nature. And that's very important. We will ripe and fall easily so that we don't go through the pain of death. So even death is not to be feared by one who has lived wisely. So what is fulfillment of health? Not waiting for death. So thank you. I'm really grateful that you're listening to me, and happy Diwali and many Diwali. So we must observe Diwali so that we observe many, many Diwalis. Let us not get bored with one Diwali. Let many Diwali come in our life. Shubham karoti kalyanam arogyam dhana sampadaha shatru vriddhi vinashaya deepam jyoti namastute. Thank you so much from the land of Lord Jagannath. I'm very fortunate that I have been posted within this 4 months, I have been posted in Puri, and this is my medical college which I belong to. It is slowly building up. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Really, your presentation was outstanding. Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once again. Namaskar. On behalf of Pickup Foundation and other organizations, those who are organizing this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. And then we have with us Sophie Dao. Sophie Dao from Hanoi, Vietnam. Sophie Dao from Hanoi, Vietnam.
Yes,
She's
I'm here.
Master degree in Management, Australia. She has the interest in Ayurveda coaching, yoga, sports, and education. She will present on healing trauma through holistic and devotional. So I request and invite Sophie Dao from Vietnam. Sophie Dao.
Thank you very much, everyone. I would like to thank Tika Foundation for this opportunity that myself and Daile is also my team, Vietnam team, that we can learn a lot of meaningful information from you. Thank you again. So the topic that for our speak today is about Vietnam. It's about a good start for Ayurveda in Vietnam. So me, Sophie and Dai, we both from Vietnam, even though now I'm living in Australia, but Vietnam is always my home. So we are trying to do a lot of good things to our community. So later on, I kindly asked Miss Miki from Japan, please wait for another 8 minutes after my speech, so my teammate Daile can finish off our one topic about Vietnam. So we believe that it's fate to bring Ayurveda to us, or us to Ayurveda. Let me start by saying thanks to Dr. Deepa Dash for his teaching, and we really enjoy and appreciate every hour he spent with us via Zoom. And also thank for inviting us to talk on this very special occasion. It's a great honor indeed. So we believe that we were, how can I say, predestined to know Ayurveda from our very close friend. Her name is Hiền, even though she's not here, but we also like to thank her lucky charm to lead us to Ayurveda. She is also Dr. Dash student. She helped us to apply Ayurveda into our way of life in Vietnam 6 years ago. And we fell in love with it from that day. And now, me and Dai, we have decided to dedicate our lives to learn and practice Ayurveda with the excellent guidance of Dr. Das. Since the beginning of this year, And so far, so good. We gained some great feedback from our friends and family in Vietnam. So I would like to give you an overview about Vietnam. We are a very young population country with about 100 million people. And like India, we are good with technology and we really eager to learn new things every day. In Vietnam, Ayurveda is still very new to our people. However, we are quite familiar with herbal medicines. But you know, herbal medicine like Chinese one or even Vietnamese one, they only focus on the physical health. For mental health, we practice yoga, meditation, because we also Buddhist country. So we quite familiar with herbal medicine, Chinese medicine, acupressure, acupuncture, sauna, hot sauna, steam, or herbal sauna, herbal bath. For the last few decades, as you already know, yoga has become more popular in the world, especially in the Western country. But yoga only started to become one of the favorite workouts for Vietnamese people, let's say less than 10 years ago. And we see that yoga really helps us to know more about Indian culture, about a little bit about Ayurveda. But however, there is no official Ayurvedic center or Ayurvedic teaching courses in Vietnam at all. We really cannot buy any herbs, any medicines, any supplement. We just can only buy some spices from Indian shop, restaurant. So, but like I say in our topic, the speech topic, it's a good start. Because Vietnam, we are young generation, we eager to learn, and more importantly, we care about our friends and family. Last but not least, the good side of COVID-19 is it has given us an alarm about how important our physical and mental health is. So we really appreciate our Ayurveda, as it gives us solution to many aspects of our lives, from spiritual to psychological and physical factors. So it's a great pleasure to us to learn from our passionate teacher, Dr. Das, and of course from you on this topic. So with Ayurveda, we believe that we can help our Vietnamese fellows. They can have good health and a happy life. So now may I introduce my beautiful Ayurveda partner, Dai Le, to share with you all about what we're gonna do next. Please, Dai Le.
Yeah. Namaskar, everyone. I would like, the first for my speaking, I would like to say thank you to Theka Foundation and Mr. Debash Dash to invite me to have opportunity to be here for speak about the Ayurveda in Vietnam. So thank you, Sophie, for the first speech. And my name is Dai Le. I live in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. I and Sophie is studying Ayurveda together. And we have a plan to work together in this field to help the Vietnamese people to improve their life. Now I would like to share with you about the our intention, how to make the Ayurveda become the very closer to Vietnamese people. We are very fortunate to be able to share the knowledge and experience gained over the year with my Vietnamese friend. We are a group of women who are the primary carrier for our family and are eager to apply what we have to learn and apply the benefit to our family in the most nature positive way. Because we growing up in the big city with very active lifestyle, and people seem to run everywhere and are always try to do everything at the same time. Obviously, we don't have much time to cook, to take care ourselves, our family every day, and we also don't have time to enjoy the nature around us. So I think like other big city people, we are very stressed and having a lot of problem with our gut due to the fast food lifestyle. And needless to say, the number of young people experiencing the cancer and stroke are getting higher, even in Vietnam also. That leads us to awareness that maintaining the balance between the career, family, and health is really important. And more people are looking for a sustainable solution, not only for themselves, but also for their loving one, because we are living in Asia family-oriented culture. And we like to take care of one another. So we believe that Ayurveda will attract a lot of attention if we can show some good result over time, for which we did gain some good result with a small group of about 100 people who are interested in the nature healthy lifestyle. Currently, we also have the small group to sharing the knowledge about the Ayurveda, but we would like to reach out 100,000 of women, provide them the basic information, daily menu, home redeem for the common problem with breathing airway, because we in the big city with the bad pollution and home detox and from the rock apples and bad diet. And if the access to the knowledge as well as to supplement the easier, it will be the big help to expand the impact. In order to achieve this impact, we really need to connect to an established Ayurveda network. And this is very good chance to know all of you in here, because that will to support us to get the connection and support us to get the sourcing supply and sharing the knowledge together. That is, thank you for everyone. And we hope to able to stay in the connect and active learn from all of you from now on. Our mission is to share the knowledge that we learn from our very nicely and kindly teacher, Dr. Dibash Das, with many other people as possible. Most important, we need to make Ayurveda easy and impactful, applicable with our available local flora. Because during our learning, we know that a lot of ingredients have in India, but in Vietnam a little bit very hard to find out. So we need to have the connection to find a way or to guide the pupil, apply easy way for themselves can using it. So also to have the pupil make the new healthy habit into their busy lifestyle, we really have the room to do it. And we will, our plan is we will organize some basic Ayurveda workshop for Vietnamese people to learn about the Ayurveda very soon. And we hope that we can connect with all of you to share your very own knowledge and expertise for our pupil. We really, once again, very thank you for the opportunity to be here, for sharing our mission and overall about the Ayurveda in Vietnam. Namaste. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sufida from Vietnam, and Lee Thai Trang Dai. Shortly, her name is Dai Lee. She is the Group Account Director, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. So, really, I appreciate you for your interest and contribution to the Ayurveda. Thank you. Thank you both, Sofidao and Dai Lee. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support and cooperation. Then we have with us Miki Yasu. We have with us Miki Yasu. She is the yoga instructor from Japan. Miki Yasu is the yoga instructor from Japan. Miki Yasu, please.
Thank you. So hello everyone, namaste. I'm Miki Yasu. So I'm from Japan, and I took yoga teacher training course in 2018 at Santana in Puri, Odisha, which father of Kunna-san established. So namaste Kunna-san. So at that time, when I was in Puri, I met Dr. Devadashuji. So thanks to you to invite me today. Thank you, Dr. Devadashuji. So, and also I want to say thank you again to Kunna-san. Actually, I didn't know you were here today, so it was a good surprise to me. So thank you. And so currently I am teaching traditional Indian yoga in Japan. And since I met yoga and Ayurveda, many changes had happened in my life. So today I would like to talk about the benefits of yoga and Ayurveda. So first, the mainstream medicine in Japan is Western medicine. So Ayurveda is not still popular in Japan. So, and everyone takes painkiller when they have severe headache or menstrual cramps. So we can temporarily forget the pain by taking those medicine. And people believe like thanks to medicine, problem solved like this. And do you know, it is often said that the Japanese are hardworking, so women take painkillers even when they have menstrual cramps and go to work with patience. So it is also true that it's a big stress for many women, and I used to be one of them actually. So working in Japan was a mental burden for me, so I decided to go to India, and because I just wanted to change the environment. So I was taking yoga teacher training course in India, Puri. That was 2018, and it was valuable experience. And by learning yoga and Ayurveda in India, I realized that true health is not only physical health, but also mental health. And I realized that my menstrual cramps and headaches had come from mental problems and stress. So Japanese know that physical health is important because it's needed for working to make money. However, they forget that mental health is the most important for physical health. So in the teacher training course, every day I was doing asanas, pranayama, and meditation So gradually, my mind and body became healthy. Since I met yoga, I have noticed some changes, like I spend time thinking about myself rather than about others. I can say I started to do self-introspect. Also, my lifestyle became regular. I became an early bird, and I no longer eat too much at night due to stress. I used to be short-tempered, and I didn't like my personality at all. But now I know it's because of my constitution. So my constitution is Pitta. So this is just Pitta's nature. Now I am being careful about my food, avoiding food which raise the Pitta dosha. Also in the summer, the Pitta tends to rise, so I'm careful not to raise my body temperature too much. So I can say I'm less angry than before because of Ayurveda. So in 2015, it was the most stressful time of my life. I often caught a cold like every month, but now I haven't caught a cold for over a year. Also, because of Jalaneti, I like it so much. I often do Jalaneti, so I don't catch a cold anymore. Moreover, I used to take pills to control my period, but now I don't need it. So menstruation is coming in a natural cycle. Also, I have no pain during menstrual time. So I am very grateful to yoga and Ayurveda. Now I'm working with Indians to teach traditional Indian yoga to Japanese. I say they are my guru. So currently we cannot go to India because of the coronavirus, but because of Zoom, we are able to hold a yoga teacher training course with my Indian gurus. And I meet new students every month in this course, and the students say, I want to learn real yoga from Indians. That's why I chose Santana. So like these students say, and those students know that yoga is not simple exercise, but they still don't know how to manage their mental health. In this teacher training course, they will spend a month learning asana, pranayama, meditation, and philosophy. By practicing yoga every day, I can see those students are changing, good changing are coming. Like I can tell their mental stress is reducing, their expressions are really changing, more smiling. And their eating habits also changed. Like they used to eat a lot of fast food and processed food, but now they are trying to cook by themselves and avoid foods that are not suitable for their body and difficult to digest. So now they understand that we are made from what we eat. They are becoming more interested in mental health. I always tell them to do pranayama and meditation every day for their own relaxed mind. I also tell them what food they should eat, when they should eat, how they should eat. So like this knowledge, I share them. And now I know for the good health, we actually don't need medicine. Just with proper lifestyle and proper food, we can maintain our health. So to maintain our healthy life, so to maintain their healthy life, real healthy life, healthy life, I will continue to spread this wonderful Indian ancient wisdom. Thank you very much. So you are mute, Dr. Prasanna, you are mute. Doctor, you are in mute.
प्रसन्न बाबू आपनकर एटा म्यूट अछि आपण ये करंतु
Thank you.
प्रसन्न बाबू
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vikiasu. Thank you so much. Thanks, special thanks to you for your association with Ayurveda, Indian Gurus, and Professor Das. Thank you so much, Vikiasu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then we have with us Laura Kavarik. Laura Kavarik. She is from Vietnam. She is from Vietnam, the capital city of Austria. She practices Bhakti Yoga since 20 years. So I invite and request Laura Kavarik from Vietnam. Laura Kavarik, please.
I'm trying to. Hi, Krishna, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna. I want to thank very much to Dr. Devadas to invite me to today to join this Zoom meeting. I think my video is not so good. I'm sorry. I don't have a good internet connection, and so I'm practicing. I'm from Austria. The city is Vienna, not Vietnam, and I practice Bhakti Yoga since 20 years, as already mentioned. And now today the topic suggested is about nutrition, and there are different aspects that one can consider in nutrition is depending on what wants to achieve. You know, someone wants to have a strong body, like become bodybuilder. Someone wants to have a diet to become slim or whatever. Someone has diabetes, he cannot eat potatoes, and or someone wants to calm the mind, he can drink chamomile tea. This is some general consideration. And so, but those who are practicing yoga, any type of yoga, if they are seriously practicing yoga, then they will also change the food according to what is suitable for developing this spiritual consciousness and yoga, because yoga doesn't mean only to exercise one body and become very fit and the next step is to concentrate the mind, and in the last step, like previously mentioned, it is meant to attain liberation, or in Bhakti Yoga we want to attain the servitorship of God, of Sri Krishna. And so there in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the ancient Vedic scripture is mentioned that there are 3 types of food, and they are divided in 3 gunas: Sattva guna, Raja guna, and Tama guna. I want to share on screen. Sorry, first time I'm trying. I start this. Maybe here I can. So. So I don't know how to share the screen, sorry. But so I will read what is written. So in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in the 17th chapter, verse number 8, Sri Krishna is telling, Ayuhu sattva pala rogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasyaha snigdhaha sthira hridya aharaha sattvika priyaha. The translation to English is, food dear to those in the mode of goodness, increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, healthy, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. So those who are yoga practitioners and also other people who want to come to a healthy state of mind, and they should try to increase their sattva guna by different means. One of them is to eat the sattvic food, that is like in general vegetarian food, like milk products and grain and vegetables, fruits, nuts. So this will be favorable for the consciousness. And the other type of food is in Tamaguna, that is 17.9, 17th chapter, verse 9. Vamla lavan adnatyushna tiksnaruksha vidahinaha ahara rachasasya sukha sukhamaya padaha. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. Those people who have this taste to eat these things, now to put too many spices and like also fast food and extremely sour, salty, and these things, they will increase the mode of passion. It may taste very nice at the first moment for the tongue, but in the next after it will cause some disease, and it will not only affect the body, it is also affecting the mind, that the consciousness will be affected also, that one cannot understand more subtle things, and one will not develop one sense of caring for others and the environment and all this wholesome mentality. And then there is the other category of foods that is in Tamaguna, the mode of darkness. It is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, verse 17, chapter 17, verse 10. Yata yamam gatarasam puti payushitam chayat uchishtam apichamedhyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of food darkness. So these are like old, very old food, and also meat, fish, egg, and some remnants. And these things, people who are in this more influenced by this Tamaguna mode of darkness, they are attracted to eat these things, but very sick. And the Tamaguna, this is like destructive consciousness, those who are eating these things. But now, as in time, then what is more is that what we are consuming, this is not only the food, no? That this sattva guna, raja guna, tama guna, this is found everywhere in the different aspects of life. For example, the place where we live, those who are living in the natural place, this is Sattva Guna. This is very healthy for the mind and very peaceful and stabilizing. And those who live in city, this is in Rajaguna, they will feel more stressed, and it will also not be good for the consciousness in the long run. And those who are living in very impure places, or like near one slaughterhouse or one bordel, and or one place where gambling is going on, this will develop the mode of darkness. That one is really affected. So those who want to practice yoga should also take care of this, where they will live, and also which type of association they take, people who are behaving in which type of this also very much affecting. And association means also, for example, if they watch TV, this is also one association. There read now one news article. There is one new Netflix serial that is called Squid Game, that children start watching this and playing in the school courtyard, and that they kill each other. Like, this is just very, very negative. Everything what we see and hear and eat and smell and everything what we accept to our senses is affecting us, and we have to digest this. Everything is one type of food. So those who want to practice yoga and attain high consciousness should take care of these things. So I have only 8 minutes today. I'm also first time speaking on Zoom meetings, so I did not want to speak more. Also, I'm a little sick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Laura Korek. She's from Austria, Europe. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. Thank you so much.
I forgot to mention that I'm also in Orissa, staying in Orissa. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Then we have with us Kate E. She's a dance activist. She's the dance activist and community organizer of Scotland. Kate E, she's a dance activist and a community organizer of Scotland. So I request and invite Kate E.
Hello there. Hello. Can you all hear me? Don't know. Right. Am I on?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, very good. Hi there. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Kate E. Deeming. I met Dr. Debadash in 2007. I can't believe it. It seems like just yesterday, but here we are in 2021, when I went to India to study Odissi dance. I want to thank all the inspiring speakers so far. It really resonates with me, all of the messages I'm hearing and all of the everything. It's so great. I myself am not an Ayurvedic practitioner, but I am very much influenced by Ayurvedic practice in the context of my dance as well as yoga. I work in dance. I call myself a dance activist. I am from Philadelphia in the United States, but I've been based in Glasgow, which of course where COP is happening right now, in Scotland, and I've been here for 21 years. I think when I explain my process and my practice, all you Ayurvedic practitioners and experts will recognize the links in terms of how it's influenced in what I do. I'm going to put my website in the notes here, so you can, if you want, you can look at images on there, because that might also give some context of what my practice looks like, which is unique in and of itself, is something that I've evolved over time. So just to give an example, I've just finished a project called 10 Seconds of Joy. In it, I got 150 children creating 10-second dance bursts, which we made into a film, which collectively build to an overwhelming reminder of human possibility and our legacy and our gift of our joyous and loving world. You can, again, find that film on my website. These children, as many in the world, had come out of a year of devastating psychological damage as a result of local lockdowns. Many had been locked up in their homes for months, isolated and afraid. Physically, emotionally, and mentally, they were broken. And they arrived back at school and working with me, scattered, having been immersed in online world, not real world, and scared. So what do? Well, what I do is I dance, of course. We don't look at the big dance because sometimes that can be too overwhelming. We do small dances that build to a joyous conclusion within oneself and within our outer environment. And that, in a nutshell, is what I do. I activate dance individually and collectively in the communities that I live. We go from a place of not dancing to dancing. And this is a metaphoric as well as a physical process. And the two are intertwined. One of my most well-known activations, because my work has gone global several times, is when in 2009 to 2011, I danced outdoors for 2 years along the River Clyde in Glasgow in this nowhere space. And I made something that was a nowhere space into a something space through a practice of being present. This resulted in thousands of dance interventions where people, just by the virtue of me being that center point and being present and centered in myself, allowed all these other spheres and one of the other speakers had spoken about this, the idea of being present and creating community. And so for this, I was awarded a commendation from the Scottish Parliament for contributing to dance and peacemaking. In recent years, many of my dance shenanigans, of course, being a fun word for fun, have brought me global fame as they've been captured, of course, on social media and broadcast across the world. And I think the reason that they're popular is because they are needed and they're familiar. They bring us back to that place of playfulness and joy and celebration, which of course is like our cells are dancing all the time, right? Like everything about us is alive and bursting and connecting. If we consider the earliest cave paintings going back tens of thousands of years, we see people dancing. And dancing has always been the center point of wellness and connection in communities, and that is no different now. And there's physiological processes that have supported this evolution of our species through dance. Now, I trained formally at the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland in performance, but my professional practice, once I left my formal master's training, was to look at how informal and formal practices, how they integrate. Because of course, the formal derives from the informal. We observe nature, and from this, we formalize the process. And obviously we can look at the yogic practices, and we can look at Odissi dance, and we can look at the evolution of how these dances have evolved. So this, of course, this exploration brought me to Orissa and to Puri with Dr. Debadas, where I was able to immerse myself in Odissi dance and really see anthropologically and socially and physically what a positive impact these had within that community. And you're so lucky in that you have an uninterrupted line of dance going back, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and is shared by the local community. Now, I want to introduce to you, whether you know this or not, there are two scientific concepts that support this. One is called kinesthetic empathy. So kinesthetic is the word for the body. Empathy obviously means that thing about feeling. So feeling the body. When we observe other people dancing, our cells, we have mirror neurons that copy what it is that we're seeing, which is why when we watch dance, we feel elevated. So there's a physiological process that is reinforced through watching and participating in dance that builds community cohesion, that brings us back into nature, that brings us back into the sense of balance, because a lot of this is just about balance. And when we don't have that, then we're very much out of balance. Now, as I said, I think what I observed when I was in India, which I loved, was that, as I said, you're so lucky you have an uninterrupted line of dance and community. Here in Scotland, however, people will say things like, I don't dance, or I can't dance, which of course is nonsense. They've confused that legacy of dancing with this idea of winning. And that is one of the challenges of our time, because people are only recognize dance as those formal qualities, not the inherent nature of what it means to be present in one's body. So how is it within my practice, I go from a place of no dance to dance, which is a process of bringing people back to themselves, back to their centers, and back into balance. And what kind of dance is that? As I've said before, it starts with the process of being present. I install myself into a location, and I am that foundation. I'm the center point. And I might be there for days, and I might be there for weeks, and I might be there for months. And I've been there, as in the Brumalol case, for years. And that way you build yourself into something that is familiar and dependable. What it starts in is a checking in with what my body needs. So I call this an inherent body wisdom, and what the body can do. It's working from what is possible. And again, this brings back to the idea of balance. We would not expect an acorn to be a mighty oak, right? You would have to, you get the acorn, you find the best spot, you nurture it, and over time it becomes what it's meant to be. And in a way, I see the body work that I do and the idea of building towards a place of wellness and celebration is like that. You have to observe, you have to be present, you have to check in with yourself and with your environment. I worked with a group of special needs adults, and I had one lassie, one woman who had profound physical disabilities. She could barely move her arm, and she could move her spine a little bit. And every week we would work, and we would just work from that arm and from that spine. And over time, she got stronger and stronger in her spine. She got stronger and stronger in that arm. Now that is an extreme example, but I think we all have this metaphoric space of forgetting to be where we're at and celebrating where we're at. Because when Anna would move her arm, and it would just be something to us, which doing this is nothing for us, most of us, but for her, that would be extra. She would feel it. She'd be absolutely present to the tips of her finger. And that would be a wonderful thing to witness and participate and to support. So in this way, my dance practice is a physical as well as a spiritual manifestation. It starts with the self, and by virtue of its actual nature, extends to the wider community. It allows for a dance ecosystem to take root and for people to feel and become stronger and more balanced in every aspect of their life, giving them confidence to feel good in their bodies, to see what is possible, to take ownership of their own health, which I think is a common theme, and also to remind us of that possibility that we do have so much possibility for joy and abundance just by the virtue of being. There's a great book by Barbara Enright called Dancing the Streets, and in it she draws a really important correlation between communities that when communities stopped dancing in the 17th century here in the UK, you saw a sharp rise in depression and suicide. Okay, so dancing was outlawed, and you saw all of a sudden, you never saw depression before, and all of a sudden it was written about everywhere. You saw that all these references to it. The past year, we have seen for the first time in all of human history, the outlawing of dancing outdoors and the outlawing of coming together to physically enjoy one another's physical, joyous celebration of dancing. And we also saw a huge rise in mental health disorders. And while I don't see the stopping of dancing as a sole cause for the mental health crisis, I do see it as a very significant tool in healing. And it's something certainly that I've witnessed in my own work in the past year in working with young people and creating dance works with them to bring us back to our bodies, into our communities, and to bring us into balance. Dance is a really extraordinary and powerful way to do that. Sir Harry Burns, the former Chief Medical Officer of Scotland, did seminal work here in Scotland that in order to build healthy communities, we need to build healthy bodies, we need to bring healthy communities to make an outward manifestation, to create these connections, these human, actual, physical, real life connections. And to a student of Ayurveda, this will come as no surprise, or a practitioner of Ayurveda. But here in Scotland, we're obsessed with treating symptoms and not looking at that whole system. And I think that is tricky and will lead to more problems ultimately. In the past year, as I've said, I've worked with hundreds of kids, getting them back into their bodies, but it's for everyone. And so I suppose I just want to end on a wee little plug. Let us all create our own 10 seconds of joyous bursts in our lives with our families, and continue to reinforce what is possible and joyous. Thank you so much for giving me this platform.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kate. You have shared your knowledge and experiences with us. Really, we are extremely happy by listening to your experiences and knowledge, particularly on dancing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have with us the last speaker. She's El Safir. She's El Safir. El Safir was raised in Canada and now lives in Chicago. She is an entrepreneur and avid yoga practitioner. On her first journey to India in 2003, Il was introduced to the ancient medical practice of Ayurveda. I think she will speak on my journey from yoga to Ayurveda. So I invite Il Safir from Chicago, USA. So I invite and request Il Safir, please.
Hello. Hello to everyone. Thank you for inviting me. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I wondered why Dr. Dash had invited me to this forum, because I do not come from any place of expertise. I only come from a place of having practiced with Dr. Dash many times in India, Panchakarma. And I've gone through Panchakarma many times in my life, and always with Dr. Dash, who I was introduced to in 2003 through a German traveler that I was traveling with in India, who's a homeopathist. And I knew that I wanted to do Panchakarma and do a massive cleanse on my body and get to understand Ayurveda a little bit better from a layman's point of view. And I knew that I was going to be very picky as to who would be my practitioner. So when I was introduced to Dr. Dash, I knew that I was in the right hands. And I knew that the information and the process that I would go to would be reliable. And it was. I started my whole world in the Eastern world of medicine and practice with yoga in the 90s. I started off with Iyengar, which didn't speak to me so much until I found Patabi Joy Ashtanga Yoga, which I did for many, many years. I practice on I have a daily practice of yoga, meditation, and pranayama. Then after I visited with Dr. Dash in 2000, I'm sorry. Hello? After I started with Dr. Dash and I did sweat boxes as part of my Panchakarma practice or cleanse, I was quickly introduced to another form of yoga called Bikram Yoga, which is practiced in a 40-degree Celsius room, not very difficult yoga poses, But the fact that I was sweating for an hour and a half, I felt like I was releasing toxins on a daily level. It was very important for me to have yoga in my life. And then very important to me to try to incorporate Panchakarma once every few years when I can afford the time to go down to India. It's one of my favorite times of my life that I can go down there. I can do these massive cleanses. And after I do a cleanse, I feel my constitution is extremely strong. My focus is very focused. Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a very strong constitution. I feel I'm very focused. I have a lot of energy, and I can feel that in my yoga practice as well as my meditation. As far as Ayurveda is concerned, I am always looking for Ayurveda here in America, which is probably more important than anywhere in the world, considering we do not have a very healthy society. They do not want to look at food as being the most important thing for your nutrition and eating according to your food type. I've actually spoken to many doctors over the years about what about nutrition? And they just sort of look at me with a blank stare in their face and say, well, we don't have anything to do with that. The oleopathic medicine, as everybody knows on this panel, sort of conquers and deals with, as opposed to the natural medicines, which take longer to go through the body, but could be way more effective. I've done many different natural medicines in my life. I started with homeopathy. I did a round of homeopathy. I got tested in iridology. I've done acupuncture and Chinese herbs. And I would love to incorporate Ayurveda into my life in a more significant way. The problem is here in America, there's not many of the herbs available. There are some, of course. I believe that ashwagandha has taken a very big, has become very inclusive in society here. People are talking about it and how a natural stress reliever is very important. But other than that, it's very difficult to find Ayurveda. There are practitioners. There are licensed practitioners. I've been to see Dr. Scott Gerson in New York, and he's got actually a Panchakarma plan that you could do, but I find that it has nothing to do with what we actually go through in India, in the original place with the original practitioners. Dr. Dash had told me many years ago that, you know, at least 14 to 21 days for Panchakarma, and here they only offer it maybe 4 to 6 days. So it's not something that I would be interested in doing in the States until it's more developed. And I'm not sure how that's going to happen, because I do understand the FDA is giving a lot of trouble for a lot of the herbs that are used in Ayurveda, which was very confusing to me, because Chinese medicine and the herbs in Chinese medicine, which I believe are very close to the ones in Ayurveda, most of them are available here in the States. So as far as teams of yours are concerned, and bringing awareness around the world, I'm very appreciative of something like that, because I do believe there's a lot of room for Ayurveda to expand in the West. It started in the 80s. I believe that Deepak Chopra had a lot to do with that in Los Angeles. But as far as getting a good Ayurvedic practitioner that would have all of the herbs needed for healing, we're not there yet. So anything that all of you can do to help all of that, or if there's anything I can do to help, I would, you know, very much appreciate it, and so would the Western world. Just to show you the idea that Panchakarma not only cleanses the body, but brings back some youthfulness. I went through fertility treatments when I was in my early 40s, and I was actually able to release eggs like I was a 25 or a 30-year-old. And the only thing that I can ascribe to that is Panchakarma, and the fact that I went through these massive cleanses in my body, and that it actually turned back time a little bit. And I was able to produce multiple amounts of eggs like a young person. It's a very important part of my life, yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, and pranayama. I feel like it's what's giving me centeredness. It gives me focus. And when Dr. Dash had first read to me the lists lists of foods that were allowed and not allowed according to my dosha, I was happily surprised that I actually pay attention to my body. And I wasn't eating a lot of the foods that, that weren't good for my dosha. And I feel like having educating the people in the West, in Canada, many places in Europe and in the States, where food is not spoken about enough, I actually was kind of proud of myself that I was a person that listened to my own body. Because many of the things on that list were things that I just naturally avoided. I've done the system 3 times in my life. It's something that I'm very much looking forward to doing again. And maybe one day we can actually do it here in the States. But if not, I'm very, very happy to come to Puri, which happens to be one of my favorite places in the world. And I hide out, and Dr. Dash and Dr. Kumar, his partner, and I work on all the problems that I have in my body, which I usually get resolution from doing massive cleanses on my body. So I want to thank everybody here for their time, for their effort, for spreading the world, the word of Ayurveda around the world, because it seems to be a very beneficial science that's been around for a very long time and that we're very happy to be a part of.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Il Sophie, you have highlighted so many things. Really, you have highlighted on yoga, then pranayam, Ayurveda, and particularly our Panchakarma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste. Then we have come to the last part. All the speakers of this day, that is 3rd day, they spoke well. Their speeches, no doubt, were encouraging, effective, and beneficial. We are benefited a lot out of their speeches, experiences, and knowledges. Thank you. Thank you, my dear participants, for your sufficient patience. So I invite and request Professor Dr. Devaprasad Das. He is the professor of Ayurveda from Gopam Ayurveda College, Puri, and he is also the international coordinator of Tika Foundation. So I must request to Professor Dr. Devaprasad Das to propose a vote of thanks. Professor Das, please. Professor Das.
Okay. Thank you, Tika. He gave the place to all the guests, a big table. World is a family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We invite all the guests to a one table, that is a Tika. And we collect all the flowers from different countries, starting from Japan to America and Europe also. So charity begins from the house. We have to collect all our friends and relatives in to invite you in one table. That I made, and who made it? And that is the Prasanna Babu and Tika. So thank you, our guest, Malaya sir, your diplomacy, and you met some university in Hungary. Whenever we invite you, you help us. Thank you, sir. And Professor Marco Ferrini is His Holiness is now a great guru in Europe.
Ciao a tutti.
Yes. He is the Machabata Prabhu. He invites. He's very diplomat. He made a big change in Europe. What I saw many times in his center. Fortunately, he invited me to give some classes there. So he invited all the young people. And in India, we are discussing only philosophy. But he is a man who turned it to the applied science. Ayurveda, yoga, philosophy. He made a lot of courses there. So thank you, sir. You join hand with the Tika and your time and your interest, your vision for the India and Vedic science. And our friend Puna Babu, he started yoga school in Puri. He brought all the Japanese students to Puri. It is a big business. And he brought all the artists from the Odisha and India to the Japan. He made a big bridge in between Japan and India. Thank you, sir. Today you join. In future, we can collaborate a lot of things with Tika. And our friend, Madam Professor Arpita Priyadarshini, he saw if you minutely observe the Saraswati, Ma Saraswati in his first slide, his voice, the full with energy and knowledge. Jnana Shakti is there. So, madam, whenever we invite you to in the Tika or other forums, you gave a lot of energy, knowledge to the public. Thank you, madam. We pray for a good health and good motivation. Kate is my friend since long. She came here to Odisha to learn Odisha dance. So dance, exercise, and massage is a very one line. How to strong the muscles, how to strong the nerves, how to bring the happiness. It only that can bring the nutya, dance. It is the applied science of Veda. That is four Upaveda. The Nutya Veda, Gandharva Veda is one of them. She is the teacher. She is the ambassador of the dance in the West. Thank you. Madam Kate, you contribute today. And Miki is a small girl from Japan. When she came to the Odisha, she is my interpreter. So sweet girl, a small girl. And she is interested to know all the Ayurveda and Yoga. So now she is doing the school there. Thank you, Miki, for your contribution for today. Then from the Dai, yes, she is also small girl from Vietnam. And Sophie, though she is from the Vietnam but staying in Australia, they have the visions how to make the natural science propagate in the Australia and Vietnam. Thank you for your contribution for today. Though it is small, but it encourages other Vietnam people. Thank you for your contribution. And the last, Laura Mataji, she is the Nirapati Mataji from Austria. Thank you, madam, for your contribution for today. And EL is my friend since long. So she came Odisha many times and she took the Panchakarma. She has a strong personality. She can change the world. Basically, she's from Vietnam. She's from Israel. Israel is strong women. She can make the revolution. That's why I invite you, madam, to join hand with us how to spread this natural science of yoga, Ayurveda, and Indian philosophy. Thank you, Prasanna Babu. Thank you, Barbara Mataji. And our team, Tika, they contribute lot of exercise, lot of time. And Samantara Babu and Tika President, Secretary, on other teams, Puri Gopabandhu Principal and college colleagues, the Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad, Odisha branch, Professor Alek Mahanti and the team. Thank you, sir, to give the opportunity, Prasanna Babu, to serve the people through the Tika. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Das. And thank you so much to all the honorable speakers and the participants of this international webinar, Ayush at the Doorstep. Thank you. So we have come to an end. So thank you. Today we closed this webinar. Thank you. Namaskar. Namaskar to all.